Hey everyone, it's Dilel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about how can two walk together unless they agree. Our word of the day, it's coming from Amos 3 verses 3 and it clearly states, unless two agree, how can they walk together? How can they go in one direction? And God was saying in my spirit, make it make sense, people. Let's make it make sense. We are only going to frustrate ourselves. Often you hear about this proverb that says, birds of a feather flock together. What does that mean? Birds of a feather flock together. That means people who are like minded, who see things a certain way, they are able to spend more time together. So that's why if they often say, well, if you are hanging out with this particular character, that means you're like that. And then you'll be like, no, I'm nothing like that. But and that's why they say, well, if you weren't like that and you didn't think that way that person thinks, then you wouldn't be hanging out with them. That's where that birds of a feather um flocks flocks together statement would come from. But to get back to the word of God now, in Amos chapter 3, verses 3, where it talks about how can two walk together unless they agree. And think about this. Oftentimes, we make friends where they do not have the same beliefs as us, right? And we want these people to be our friends. We want to hang out with them. We want to do things with them, but they are not in alignment with our values, right? So sometime what would we do? We would basically put our faith, our what we stand for to the side to hang out with these folks. And that's not right. It shouldn't be that way. You should not have to give up who you are to hang out with someone else. Okay? If you don't drink, okay, so how come you're spending time with heavy drinkers? You're going to the pub or to the bar, and the expectation is that you're going to drink. And if they're heavy drinkers, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to have a virgin drink each and every time. You can start off that way. And then little by little, you realize, okay, I'm getting a couple of cocktails here. And it was never in your plan. So, how can two walk together unless they agree? If you have a faith, and your faith is saying to you, oh, okay, I don't partake in certain activities. Let's say you have a certain diet. Okay, let's talk about diet. If you're going vegan and your friend, all she does is eat meat, right? And then she pushes that on you, or he pushes that on you, or you spend a lot of time with people that are eating meat versus people who are vegan, or having a clean diet where they're incorporating more vegetables and go on and so on and so forth. Does it really make sense? Let's make it make sense. Why hang out with someone that all they do is eat meat? Not saying that you can't talk to people that eat meat, and that's not what this is about. This is about showing you that make it make sense. It has to make sense. Okay, if you know you have a vegan diet, if you know you're following a strict diet, you cannot go out to a restaurant where all they serve is meat. That's what I mean. And the folks that you're hanging out with, and they're inviting you to these places, you're going to have to get to a point where if what you are wanting to do, you really stand for it. You're going to have to say, listen, you guys, I really appreciate hanging out with you guys, but I don't eat meat, so I can't go to certain restaurants that don't incorporate a vegan part of their menu. If there's nothing on there that's for me, I'm not gonna go. And they will understand that. Some folks will understand that. Some folks will think you're just being a little bit too much, but that is their issue, and that's not yours, because you are standing for what you believe in. Okay, I've heard numerous stories of folks who would enter a marriage, right? They would date this person. And I mean, they would date this person for years, knowing that this person did not want to have children. They would get married to this said person in hopes that now that we are married, they will want children. And once again, we go back to the verse. How can two walk together unless they agree? Save yourself this heartache, right? Because now you've spent so many years with this person. And when they do not want to have children and you still want to have children, that's going to cause a break in that marriage. So avoid even getting to that point while you are dating. If that person does not want to have kids, that is, and that's something that you definitely want, that's on your list, then you tell them it was a pleasure meeting you and I wish you well, because they're not for you. They don't want children. They're explicit about it. You want children and you're that's what you want. And you shouldn't have to give that up because you want to date this person. God is a good God. He's great. He will send someone your way who wants children as well. You do not have to settle for someone who do not want children when that is what you want. Align yourself with this verse. How can two walk together unless they agree? If you want marriage, this is someone this is something you want. And if you're speaking to men or women who want to be single for life, that's not going to work. You can like see them, say hello, and like a friendship that doesn't go anywhere in terms of you know that. But if you want to get married and you go on a date with this person or you spend some time with this person, although you like this person, and you realize they don't want marriage, early on you can save yourself a lot of grief by just letting them go. It's going to be harder to let this person go after you've been with them for many years, after you already had, like, you already developed certain routines that they are in. You have habits together, you have so many things set in place. It's going to be harder for you, but you still will have to make that decision, because guess what? They don't want to get married, you want to get married. So I say to you again, how can two walk together unless they agree? They cannot. They cannot walk together because it's only going to bring frustration and grief. Let's take an example in our finance. If you are on a debt-free journey, you are knocking out these credit card debts, you want to get out of the student loans, you want to pay off your car, you want to pay off your mortgage, okay? You want to be debt free. You don't want to have to, let's say we go into a recession, the market crash, whatever that can happen in terms of finances. You want to be ready for it. You want to have an emergency fund set up. So can you spend time with people that want to spend everything that they make? They don't have a budget. They go out to they go out on a whim. They go on vacations that they cannot afford. They buy things that they cannot afford, and they are just doing the most. And they are not trying to pay off any debt. They're actually accumulating as much as they can at a speeding rate. Can you walk with this person? Can this person be your go-to person? Can this person be your accountability partner? I think not. Or is it just me here? Right? So God is saying to us today, let us not frustrate ourselves, right? His word is clear. How can two walk together unless they agree? And if you continue to read the rest of the word in Amos chapter 3, verses 3, and you continue to read after 3, and it talks about lions and different animals and things of that nature. And as I was reading, God was just saying, make it make sense. Let's make it make sense, people. Yes, we want to, sometimes we're doing things because we want to make other people happy, but we have to be true to ourselves. Okay? Even a schedule at work. If you are, let's say, 7 days Adventist, and that job is not going to give you the Sabbath off, and you know you want that Sabbath off, don't negotiate that. You're going to be miserable because you know you wanted that Saturday off. And once you take that job, they're not going to give it to you. So you let them know ahead of time, this is who I am, this is what I want. And that's for everything, whether it's in a relationship, in a friendship, work relationship. Make sure in the beginning, right? God is saying, let us do this from the beginning. This friend, do they have the things that you want in a friendship? This guy or girl, is this what you want in a future spouse? Is this really what this is, the boyfriend or girlfriend that you want? You're going for this job opportunity, same thing. Let's make it make sense. That is what the Lord is saying. Let us save ourselves a lot of hurt, frustration, and wasted time by heeding to His word. So today, I bring this message to you, and I hope that it was able to help you in some way, enlighten you in other ways. Please don't forget to hit the like button on this video, share it with a loved one, share it with a friend, okay, that can definitely benefit from this message. And please subscribe to the channel. And as the Lord inspires, I will continue to put out more videos like this one. You have a wonderful day and you take care.